up guys, Noah from Stage 3 Motorsports, and today we are going to be taking a look at Ford's booth here at the SEMA show for 2019. So there's a whole lot of builds through here. We're going to be doing just kind of a quick run through to show you guys what's hanging out in this area, but if you are interested in some of the details on these builds that are a little bit more in depth, we did get a couple of these in our top videos where we talked about our top 3 F-150s, Super Duties, and Rangers. So make sure you check those out, but let's give you a quick run through this booth. So this year at SEMA, Ford does have a couple F-150s in their booth, as would be expected, but I will say that there wasn't as many as we thought there would be even around the entire show, which probably has a lot to do with the fact that there wasn't a huge redesign or a big push behind the F-150 right now for Ford to emphasize on. With that though, there is still some good builds like the drag F-150 behind me here with this crazy chase rack and wild kind of honeycomb wrap on it, and we also actually took a pretty in-depth look at Black Rifle Coffee Company's build, so a lot of neat utility stuff there. Now, unsurprisingly, what's extremely hot at SEMA this year is Ford's 2019 Ranger. Obviously, we brought our own Ranger here as a build to show off, but you can see there's a couple that have made it up into Ford's booth, and like Hellwig's here, it's way over the top, really well done. Just really awesome to see this truck getting utilized and new aftermarket coming down the line for it, and that obviously Ford is encouraging people to get into the aftermarket world with these vehicles. As I've already mentioned, there is a ton of overland stuff that's tied up with these trucks, but we've even seen a few that are slammed and kind of streetcarred out, which is kind of neat just because it's different variety. Ford also came out in force this year with some Expedition and Explorer builds, and I think a lot of that hype has to do with some of the new redesigns that have happened on both of these vehicles just to get them up to date. They're looking really good, and obviously there's still a bit of that car camping kind of utility culture that's running through some of these builds, but there's actually a lot of lowered, flashy kind of street stuff that you'd expect to see at SEMA, but it's really tastefully done. Some of the more strange builds that are sitting around the Ford booth are these new 2020 Escapes that they've worked on. I'll be 100% honest with you guys, I'm not entirely sure I like what they've done with the redesign on these. It's a little weird, it sort of looks like it ate the Focus, but it is interesting. I'm glad that they did something to try and beef these trucks up a little bit and, you know, throw some racks on there, throw some bikes on there. There's some amount of effort, and really I haven't driven one, so I can't tell you if it drives nice or not, but they are out here. One of the more unique things at Ford's booth is this 2019 Mustang that was modified by Webasto to be completely electric. So as if that isn't already kind of unique and interesting, this thing actually cranks out 1,000 pound-feet of torque and is a 6-speed manual. So actually sounds like it'd be a lot of fun to drive. It's probably really crazy and out of control since that torque is instantaneous, and it looks really clean. I mean, they made a nice looking car overall, and I think this is one of the coolest things I've seen at SEMA so far. With that, Ford also brought out their GT Mark II, which has just been kind of surrounded by people the whole time. It's hard to even get a picture of it, but it's such a rad car to see. I really love the way that thing looks, and obviously it's got a lot of heritage behind it, so it's not a huge surprise that Ford would have one. Bringing everything full circle back to sort of the stuff that's in our wheelhouse for Stage 3, they also have the new Super Duty Tremor here sitting in the booth. Now this truck is kind of cool because it's built to basically compete with Dodge's Power Wagon offering, and this thing is a 7.3 big block gas V8 truck, 4-wheel drive. It kind of changes the Tremor nameplate from what we've known it in the past on the F-150 when they did that sort of street truck style vehicle, but I really like the direction they went with it. It's got a lot of neat blacked out accents around the vehicle as well as these blacked out wheels. They added a few extra graphics to the side of this thing, dress it up a little bit, and it's meant just to be kind of an off-road capable out of the box Super Duty that's a little bit more than what you get with an FX4, and like I said, offers that big block V8 option. So I'm excited to see what happens with these trucks as they move into production, and if we're lucky, we'll get our hands on one. I'd love for that to happen, but we'll see. Well guys, this is going to be a wrap on our walk around for the Ford booth at SEMA. As always, thank you for watching, and like I said at the beginning, if you're looking for some more details on some of these builds, we did cover them in our top 3 videos. We've got that for the Ranger, the Super Duty, and the F-150, where we tried to pick out our favorite builds from the show. So make sure you don't miss out on those, and I'll see you guys next time.